Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 242 on my countdown to retirement. So today when I got up, I read my Sunday emails from Rob Berger and Seeking Alpha and Ritholtz Wealth Management. I then went outside and trimmed back my tomato plants. I'm starting to get the initial tomatoes coming out. I've got a jalapeno, actually that's a banana pepper coming out, and a couple of red peppers starting to come out. So I was pretty happy with that. Then I made a batch of eggs and bacon for my wife and I to eat while we watched Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley. Then all the proteins that I bought yesterday, I separated and vacuum sealed and then put into our main freezer. I sharpened the knives I use most often in the kitchen today, and then I went out and updated Bolden with all of my current information, and I'm still tracking, with the same Monte Carlo values that I've had, consistently for the last, 6-8 months. I am going to kind of try and clean up some of the numbers and then probably set up by July. Well, let's call it late June. I'll probably in late June set up a call with one of the Bolden CFPs just to have them review the plan and make sure, given that Bolden keeps making a bunch of adjustments to their software, and they're going to be eliminating the optimistic and pessimistic assumptions and some other tweaks. And I want to make sure that the stuff that I've got in the plan it is accurate. I think it is, but I'm willing to spend the money to have somebody else double check it. And I'll also set up a follow-up, again, given that I want to be able to retire at the end of the year. I've got a Northwestern Mutual wealth management guy that will do a review for me for nothing. I have a Charles Schwab guy that will do a review for me for nothing. So I'll at least have 2 more CFPs take a look at my plan, in addition to paying for the folks at Bolden to make sure that I've used their software properly. But everything seems to be tracking so that at the end of the year, I can pull the plug. So that's good. Then I spoke to my sister on the way back. She was driving back from the Tedeschi Trucks Band Sun, Sand, and Soul Music Festival in Miramar Beach, Florida, up in the Florida Panhandle. And I found out that my brother-in-law was admitted to the hospital last night with suspected aspiration pneumonia. So I'll get an update tomorrow to find out if that suspicion is correct or if there's something else that's wrong. Nobody really knew the information. I talked to her, my niece, my nephew. Nobody had accurate information. So my sister's brother-in-law is a doctor at the hospital where my brother-in-law is. So she's going to call him tomorrow to have him look at the charts and give her an accurate update as to what's going on. And then I went out and I disconnected all the wires under both seats that go to the airbag system, because all the different things I read basically said, if you drain all the electric current out of there, wait, a reasonable amount of time. And I waited like more than half an hour and replugged the stuff back in. If there's a fault from the electrical side, it'll reset and clear the item. Well, it didn't do it. So I'm going to have to go to Toyota and have them do a diagnostic or whatever. And when I actually looked at the breakdown of all the different parts that it could be within the airbag system, the most likely thing that would be a failure. That part is like just the part alone is around $350. So not looking forward to spending the money to have that repaired, plus the labor to do the diagnostics and whatever they're going to charge me to stick it in the car. So I'll probably walk out with at least a $500 bill. And then on top of that, my HVAC blower in the truck has been acting up, and 2 days it didn't didn't turn on, and I got it restarted by basically forcing air through um, through the system at high speed as I was driving with the vents open, and then it eventually restarted. So called a friend of mine who's really into auto reconditioning, and he suggested that I go to Rock Auto and get the parts there. So I did, and so I've got it on order for a replacement blower motor that cost me, just with tax and everything, tax, shipping, whatever. It's going to be like just shy of $80, and it's supposed to be in by Thursday. And then it's like 3 screws to take out the old one and put in a new one, so no big deal for the installation. I'll take care of that. Then I went and colored my wife's hair because she was unhappy with the amount of gray that was coming in when she pulled her hair back in a certain way. So I did that, and then I'll have to wait a couple of days, and then I'll have to go back and do the highlighting. Like the coloring part takes me like 15 minutes, and I don't mind doing that at all. The highlighting takes me at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then she has to also then sit there for another 45 minutes. So it becomes a multi-hour process for me to do that. So I definitely don't look forward to that. Plus, I get critiqued every time that I do it. And even though I've been doing it for years and it comes out fine, I still have to go through the critique process every time I do it. So anyway, and then I signed up for a roll call for the cruise that I'm taking in August on Cruise Critic. And then I started researching additional potential excursions for that particular cruise, because today is day 91, and so usually most of the places that have excursions, once you're within 90 days, they'll let you book them in advance, and then I can book them, prepay them, and then we'll just go on them, and I'll just make sure that they're refundable in case the ship can't make it into the port, or the weather, whatever the conditions are that would stop me from being able to actually go on the various ones that we've selected. But I got taken care. I looked all those up. I printed those out. I gave them to my wife to review to see if any of them are of interest to her, and I basically highlighted all the ones that I'm interested in, and then I put a variety of alternatives under each location we're going. So if she doesn't like the primary one or two that I picked, I gave her a list of pretty much all the main attractions we could go to that would be alternates. And then I made her a salad for dinner because she wasn't that hungry. And then I heated up my leftover turkey breast along with some Kerrygold butter. And then I just, given that turkey breast is lean, I'm doing carnivore, and you really need the fat content, pretty much dip each piece of the turkey breast in the butter and eat it. So that's my update for today. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.